Hello again, it's Mr. RG Stuff, back in the workshop with yet another box on the workbench. Now this one's from eBay and I've had it a few weeks, and even before that I was waiting for it for quite a few weeks because the courier managed to lose it, and fortunately the eBay vendor worked really hard to track it down and get it sent on to me, so I think in the end everybody was happy. Right, well, so in here is a job lot of, well, you might be able to see, but there's a sound box. And if you haven't guessed yet, then you'll know by now that this is actually gramophone parts. And in fact, actually, it's mainly sound boxes. So there's one. Let's maybe let's move that there and we'll pull them out. So what else have we got? Now this one here, this I know is one of those fake Indian ones. Yeah, be interesting to play with that one. This one here, oh, it's got a nasty rattle. That's going to need some repairing. This actually says made in England, and I know that this, well, I'm pretty sure this is actually very similar, if not the same, to a blue one I've got. The only difference really is the sort of front on it. There's a box here. This box says trademark limit, I think that says. When I bought these, I was working off one single picture on eBay. It was much like a sort of a car boot job. Half the fun was not really knowing what I was buying. So anyway, limit metal diaphragm sound box, price 10 and 6. And indeed, there is the sound box, looking a little bit worse for wear. Yeah, that's bust. I'm guessing that these are somebody's collection of maybe Duff ones. Let's see what else we've got. Now I have to say, I don't mind that they're sort of bust and all beat up. I mean, these are really for me to practice on and experiment with. Again, that one, yeah, I mean, it's got a bit of a trash diaphragm. That says made in England. Does it have a brand? Well, it does, but I can't really read it. But the diaphragm's completely trashed on that. But it doesn't matter. They're all coming to pieces. They're all going to be experimented on. So it doesn't really matter that they're all a bit beat up. Okay, so the next one out. This one here. This is a natural phone or Naturaphone sound box, patented. I mean, that's pretty beaten up as well. That's got an interesting little needle chuck there rather than the usual screw. Very bent sound bar. Yeah. I mean, I'll probably go through these in more detail, but this literally is me just opening them up for the first time. What else have we got? I mean, this looks, well, I mean, I do wonder. I mean, this, goodness knows what that fits there. That could be some sort of homebrew or homemade fitting on there. Again, yeah, that definitely looks like that's been re-waxed and pretty poorly. Micron there, might be serviceable. No branding. I mean, it's junk, but it doesn't matter. It was bought pretty much as junk. This is exactly what I expected them to be like. This one here, Karma. Again, it's a metal diaphragm sound box, missing its needle bar. It's got the pivots, and obviously the diaphragm's in pretty poor condition. Yeah. Another box here. Well, this says it's a Columbia number 7 sound box. Let's have a look and see what's actually in there. Well, that's interesting. That was unexpected. There is a HMV number 2. Now, I don't own a HMV number 2, and in fact, I was tempted to bid on a HMV number 2 not all that long ago, and it was going to cost probably more than all of this lot together cost. So that's a nice find, actually. I mean, sure, it needs restoring, but then so does everything else. So that's not really a problem. Yeah, I'll leave that out of the box because it's not the right box for it. But that's good. What else have we got? I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Who knows what's going on there? I mean, this thing here, I'm guessing this is some sort of a mechanism for introducing some sort of air leak. You could adjust the tone or the volume on some sound boxes by some sort of fancy mechanism. Never seen anything quite like that though. It looks an awful lot like the sort of mechanism on an old shutter, you know, camera shutter from this sort of time. Not what I've seen on a gramophone, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean the micro on that's pretty smashed up. But yeah, that would be an interesting one to take to pieces. What else? They just keep coming out. Now this is interesting because I've got one very similar to this already, which I paid good money for. It's got the same sort of sandwich at the back of rubber bits and metal bits. Again, I've no idea what that fits. It looks a little bit too small for a HMV. That, I suspect, is actually a serviceable sound box. Yeah, that's one of the better ones. They just keep coming. Who knows? British patent, something or other. Oh, I mean, that's surely, I mean, I don't know. That's either old or it's off some sort of children's portable gramophone or something. That's not a normal sound box, and yet it is clearly a sound box. Yeah, I mean, anybody knows what that is, I'd be very interested to hear. Right, well, this has a brand on it. I mean, it actually says a national brand product. I mean, the gaskets are completely shot, but it does seem to be complete, and that might actually work. I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibilities that might just be serviceable. I mean, again, I'm a bit dubious about the fitting on the back. Looks a little small for a HMV. Gaskets clearly need replacing, but yeah, that's quite hopeful. So how many have we got so far? I mean, there's one. That's not in view. Let's try and get everything. Let's move this off actually. Try and get them all in camera shot because it's quite an impressive collection of sound boxes. I mean, yes, the collection, yes, the condition, sorry, is pretty poor. And I say that one's not antique. That's just a modern Indian fake. But yeah, I mean, still fun to play with. I have one on an old, well, I say an old, I have one on a fake Indian gramophone, which I got earlier this year. So yes, okay, so that Columbia box is empty. So what have we got so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What have we got left? Well, there's that one there. That looks pretty complete. The diaphragm, interestingly enough, looks like it's completely rusted away. So that's presumably some sort of metal diaphragm. Sorry, metal as in ferrous metal. And the back definitely looks like that's been adjusted. In fact, it's a Columbia. Well, it came out the factory as a Columbia. I'm not sure what model number that is. Can't see. That certainly started off as a Columbia. It's quite what's happened to it since then is anybody's guess. This is a Dulcetto. That's a brand I think I might have heard of. Made in England. Yeah, I mean that could be working. Well, that could be working order. I mean, one of the springs is missing, but yeah, some definitely useful parts there. This one is interestingly marked the City Gramophone and Cabinet Company Grand Opera Deluxe model. Probably a looky-likey brand, similar enough to the Gramophone and Typewriter Company, and I think they might have also had a Grand Opera or an Opera sound box as well, but possibly selling in the hope that you might mistake it for a Victor or a HMV product. This one here, which is I'm not sure if that's a complete sound box or not. That seems to be missing its front completely, but it was an exposition made in Germany. But I think that's only. I think that might be a sort of exhibition type clone, but there only appears to be half of it. And buried at the bottom, and I saved this one till last because I was hopeful it might be a good one. This is actually His Master's Voice number 5A, possibly with well, certainly a gold colour front. I mean, maybe that is a gold one. That's rather nice. I mean, again, probably needs some work, but that's a very nice sound box. And I don't have a 5A. Got a 5B. But yeah, nice find. So what do we got here? So, 1618. So, I think the advert said there were 16 sound boxes. Well, that looks like 18 sound boxes to me, although that one's obviously only a bit of one. But I think all the other ones are pretty complete, and there's more. Now, they're not sound boxes, but there are some additional bits. So there are some winders, or winding handles. Again, off random gramophones. I suspect some of these fit. I mean, that looks very sort of HMV. I mean, that's. I'm guessing that might fit a HMV. In fact, it's got a label on it. What does the label say? Yeah, I think it's got an indication of the thread size on it, but that's not particularly helpful. This looks like a Garrard one. That could be a Garrard one too. This one here, that looks earlier. That could be like from an Edison Bell. I do have an Edison Bell with a crank bit, or a slotted shaft like that. So anyway, there we go. There's 18 sound boxes in various states of repair and 4 winders, and I think that's a pretty good job lot for somebody like me who just wants to take to pieces sound boxes and learn about them and experiment with them. A lot of these sound boxes I think are going to be recoverable. Some are just junk, but I mean, you know, there's a number 2 that's definitely complete enough to be brought back into use, and there's a complete, I mean, admittedly a very tatty but a complete gold number 5A, and an awful lot of fun in the rest of them. Okay, well that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and if you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Mr. RG Stuff. Thank you.